Shall we play a game?
We got one person online. The workload is enough for like 10 users. I think we got a hacker.
Shall we play a game?
Good morning. It is June the 5th. It is 2019, and this is your morning brief. So, there's still a lot of things going on with this Bluekeep vulnerability. Seems like now we've got this focus on RDP. There seems to be some things popping out the woodwork. There was another security researcher revealed of a newly unpatched vulnerability. This is a bit of a weird one, so you have to bear with me on this. You have to be connected to a server, so maybe it's like or any other system via RDP. And if you lock that connection rather than just disconnect, then should you interrupt the network connection, it basically, when it comes back, it's unlocked. I mean, there's a couple of weird things about that. Is one, why would you just lock a remote RDP session? But hey, maybe there's a reason for it. And the other one is, why wouldn't you just lock your computer if you was going to walk away from it? Lock the RDP session and lock the computer. But it's a vulnerability. I mean, technically it's a vulnerability. Microsoft said they're not going to be fixing it, so it's still going to be out there. I'd also looked at the Apple thing that they're doing with this, Apple ID, where they generate an email for a web application and you use the Apple ID to log into. That's kind of a cool thing because, I think people get tired of trying to enter their own email address. And then what happens is you enter that email address and you think, what's the password? Well, I'll just use the same password that I'm going to use at work. Not. And that's a problem as well. So, always one of the things we've got to be careful of is that kind of exposure of giving our email addresses away because we tend to use the same credential for that, the password. So that's kind of I thought was a very good thing. And then there's obviously a couple of things that have come out for the Mac. These are all about synthetic clicking. I'm not going to bore you with this one, but it's, it just sort of allows privilege escalation, local privilege escalation via, something what they call synthetic clicking, sort of fake clicking. But, other than that, but the big focus is still on this Bluekeep RDP. Patch. Make sure that you have, the latest patch for RDP. If you're doing anything else, do that today. Make sure you're patching everything on that RDP, internally as well as externally. Also, start thinking about those third-party companies who links into you. How good are they? How's their security looking? Because if you rely upon a widget and the widget company that provides you with the widget is got crap security, then you could do all the best RDP patching in the world and they get hit because they don't, and all of a sudden you have no more widgets and your supply chain slows down as well. So bear that in mind. Other news, we're seeing, obviously, this is, day before D-Day, so I always take a moment to remember those that paid the ultimate sacrifice. I'm ex-military myself, so it's something that I think we should all do. I think we should all do it daily, let alone, that's the greatest generation. So, and let's have a look at as I said, I go for a couple of areas that I look, and there's nothing, apart from this Bluekeep. Even the feds put out something yesterday saying, hey, we need to make sure that you guys get this. I did see that there was some hackers that slurped 19 years of Oz student data in a university breach. Why are people keeping 19 years of data, not even nearline where it's, offline and not accessible, but 19 years of data. There's no reason for that. If you're just gathering data like that and you're obviously not using it, why keep it? Why, again, exposures, threat surface reduction. You don't need, if you hold 1 billion records and only 10,000 of them are usable, then reduce it. Reduce that threat surface that you have. So, bearing in mind, this is what's going on. Obviously, we've seen this Quest breach as well, 20 million medical test records. The interesting thing there is, the IBM data breach said, a normal record's like $148 for a breach. A medical record is $408. So that's a lot of money. You're talking they were saying at least 200,000 payment details have swiped as well. I mean, it's not like the medical record, but it's like the payment details and that. That is, I mean, that's a company breaker, that type of stuff. But be careful, make sure you patch this RDP stuff. And that was your morning brief.
Shall we play a game?
We got one person online. The workload is enough for like 10 users.